said are true. It's not going to flood.
We've had enough floods to know it doesn't flood there.
Oh, it goes the other way? Yeah, the other side of the other?
Yeah. Fortunately.
Well, it's still poor building location.
I agree with you, no park. It's a lousy example to set for an enterprise center.
I know, I told Kim and Michael the same thing. They were involved in that.
But it feels like we're saying that there's sort of no basis for the economy here in New Hampshire. I was thinking about what Mark said about, you know, the farmers all left, right? And they went out west. So we had this big, you know, flat thing, and then they got sheep, and then the sheep thing happened, and we had sheep-based economy, and then that went, and I don't think we've ever, and now it's tourism, but what's the next thing? It's like
there's forestry somewhere too, like the paper mills and everything, which
paper mills right now
are owned by what, Japanese companies?
So what's the next thing? I mean, we need to be thinking about what's the next thing that could sustain us. What, well? We have to have farms. We'd have to eat.
The trouble is,
that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, life is.
Yeah, but where is that food coming from?
And where's the
We
money?
have no control over it.
I understand that.
Well,
but we are not self-sufficient, are we? You know, how can we just live when?
We need a
I agree. No, I agree. Which is
The only answer is to build one huge pop-outs in the entire state. I mean, that's.
yeah.
You get my point.
Well, the point is that there's a reason why people trade. The reason why people trade. People trade. I want to have something better people want. And that's something to pay for, right? So,
the future of our economy. So, I don't know.
How about I just put future of economy of region?
we have to trade where we can more than take care of.
Or, yeah,
Question mark.
yeah, something.
Plan for a future.
We had no idea.
Plan for a region's economic future.
That's all.
Well, I guess that involves if you're talking about, geeks in the woods. you have to have the broadband accessibility. Then what other infrastructure you put in place to support whatever the next wave of what you think is going to support the most of the economy.
All right. So is there any more basic ideas before we're going to start to actually jump into a few of these? We can't obviously jump into all of them, but we're going to pick a few. You guys want
Something, because I'm a business owner.
Sure.
Number 5, seed money and ease of doing business. If you can do that and keep your taxes low, you will bring in business. You will solve an unemployment issue.
Did you say seed money? So like
seed money.
That's like starting money.
Startup money.
Are we still on number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your business? Well, I own a business in Massachusetts, and then I was about to start a business here in New Hampshire, but I'm still on the fence about it. I manage condominium communities in Massachusetts, and I can still live up here as a business running it by itself.
Remote.
Yeah, I do it by phone call or
See? Exhibit A.
email.
Exhibit A, there he is, right there. Yeah.
The future.
Exactly what I'm saying. Well, all right. So we've solved it. We can all just go home.
Yeah, you can go home.
All right, Zach.
I was just going to say that something you touched on. I was looking to start an aquaponics business, which is growing by food, growing vegetables and fish in a symbiotic relationship, in a super insulated greenhouse with LED lighting. You could grow 12 months out of the year.
Al said you can't do that. No way.
Have you gotten into the red tape that the state presents to do that? Because there is another farm who's also had it running for years, but because it's tilapia, which is an exotic species, the state has yet to allow them to sell it in the state.
Is that in Ashland?
No.
Oh.
No, I wasn't aware of that. I want to get a major contract with one of the major grocery stores before I move forward.
It's ridiculous that we get trout from Chile.
Yeah.
This is it. Here's the man of the future, right here.
But there is a lot of layers of state fish and game and
Actually, I had a very positive conversation with those people about down at the state level on tilapia and trout. But that they would be a lesser part of the bottom line because they're only ready for harvesting about every 6 months. But I had a neat concept where I should take
No. This is actually interesting. I want to. If you start this business, please let me know.
Sign on as investors.
It does sound like a pretty good idea.
The way I looked at it, the hardships that we've all been going through. I used to own 2 businesses and have a real estate development company, and it went bust a few years back because of all the downturn in the economy. So more recently I've said, okay, we've got people that can't make ends meet. We may or may not have a need for local food. And what could I do to solve those issues? And what I came up with was a business plan for an aquaponics building and business that would generate X amount of dollars. And I actually went by my dollar figure and built the business to support the dollars. And then I said to myself, well, if this business, which maybe take up, I don't know, half this room, could make up X amount of dollars, then maybe it could pay for the house. And then the mother and father and the kids could run the business and pay for the house based on the proceeds of the business.
Yep, this makes my mind.
So that's what I was thinking.
Got some agreement. I'm supposed to stay neutral, so I'm going to refrain.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking right or wrong. I just, a business idea I came up with.
It's a good business idea.
So now,
That's also not
friends, we are now going to jump into, we're going to pick a few things, and we're going to talk about what are some of the big patterns that we've seen from across these focus areas, and what are our challenges going forward. So patterns and challenges. What patterns would you notice that was common to a lot of the stuff we talked about? What do you see as our biggest challenges as a state going forward, or as a region, I should say?
All right. Can I can sort of play with this, right? How I set it up. You're gonna like it.
What do you mean?
Can I put a table in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know how to use Open Office? It's just like Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said
Yeah, see, I knew the right person. The right person always steps up. That's the truth.
no, don't.
We won't tell anybody. You won't have to do this.
Okay, so
You go with him next time.
patterns, challenges, what do we notice? I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff right there. We spent an hour talking about a lot of stuff.
I think one of the biggest challenges is building consensus around some course of action.
Yeah, vision for the future.
Even resolving live free or die with the value of cooperative effort. I see this as kind of like we got 2 big philosophies
Right, bridging the ideological divide.
at odds with each other in our communities and states. Some folks who think, oh man, I built that. I'm the only guy that's involved in this. I built it from the ground up. The other guy over here saying, well, I couldn't do it by myself, and it's just 2 different ways of looking at the same thing. It's just been, we could be building the same ecosystem, but you're looking at it in a different way. So we have, I'm not sure.
Well, give me an example.
Well, okay, so you may say, well, it's kind of like the national debate, the whole thing about you didn't build that debate, right?
Yeah.
Well, so the national debate is individual effort is the most important from some people's point. From other people, built by you. Right. We built the country individually, one person at a time. Well,
One community at a time.
Right. But the real thing is that both things happen. People did work hard on their part, but they didn't do it in a total vacuum either. They did it because other people built roads, other people put stuff there, other people built transportation networks, mean, we have to work together, and we have to work hard independently, sort things out that way in order for us to actually make the best thing for ourselves collectively. So we have to continue to work on people's ability to act independently, but we have to also foster their understanding of our interdependence. But so I don't know how to do that.
I don't know, that sounds like a fuzzy intellectual conversation
It
at
is
the university more than practicality.
Yeah, but I'm a hardware store operator, right? I mean, I've been doing it for 40 years. I'm a business guy, just like you, right? You look at it differently than I do. I can tell.
I can't do it without customers.
Right.
For
You
one
know,
thing.
I can tell. I mean, did I build my business?
Yeah, you did. I've been there 40 years.
I worked at it. No, my dad had the business before me, and his dad had it before him.
You inherited it, but you maintained it for the last 40 years.
So, do I give credit?
You deserve credit.
Be careful, don't.
Yeah, give me some credit, but I didn't do it on my own.
Well, you've maintained it for 40 years. That's an
But nobody
accomplishment.
said the newspaper helps.
Exactly. You know,
Well, it's a community. It's about
We're
community.
living in an interconnected world. You know, it may sound fuzzy and intellectual to you, but it's true.
So you have customers.
Yeah, I have customers, right? Yeah, and I have vendors, and I have, you know, I have my public, and I have my people who detract from me, and people who add to me. I mean, it's all there. But so what I'm saying is, you know, like somehow we got polarized. We're polarized in our society between these two strains of thought,
We gotta get past it.
and somehow or other we need to bridge that gap. And in this state we have it too. We have it, you know, we're a microcosm of the rest of the country. We have a legislature that is out of this world, in my opinion. What they, which opinion? You know, but I mean, and so I don't know. That's the consensus in my mind. How we would ever actually move forward without, you know, with some level of understanding between ourselves. Because I understand that you don't get somewhere without working. You know, I put in the 60-hour weeks, the 80 hours. But I did it because of my choice. Right. So the guy, and I take it part about, there are many people who are much less fortunate. They don't have as much brain power, they don't have as much, they didn't get as much advantage coming in, they didn't get the education, they didn't have the resources, they didn't have the startup money, they had lots of things that we all rely on other people's brains. Okay.
Yeah, well, you couldn't develop your aquaponics business without somebody having invented the whole system.
We've kind of reached.
Yeah, we won.
Yeah,
We did that.
yeah, that conversation happened.
Okay, good.
And let's continue because I can tell we're not going to be solving the problems of the world tonight.
GrokTV.